amazing little instrument is called the Tenori-On, and it's very different than the usual instrument that you might see me playing, although these days I've been playing a lot of experimental instruments. This one is especially amazing because it really puts together the world of light and sound, which is something that I've been experimenting with and enjoying lately. In this instrument, you have a 16 by 16 grid of pixels, which basically control the entire world. It's a sound-generating instrument. It has sound built into itself. And it also is a light-generating instrument. Both sides will show you the display. Usually what happens is that time is moving from left to right, and pitch is moving from top to bottom. So right now we're looking at one of the blocks, which they call it playing, and when I was performing a minute ago, I was basically moving through the blocks, and each block is like a 16-step sequencer. So that's what was happening when I was playing. I was just selecting like block 5, block 4, block 3, and the sequence runs continuously, which is really, really awesome. Some very, very cool things you can do with the Tenori. For one thing, let's say you're listening to a block like this one. So, one of the buttons actually controls the levels of all 16 of the layers. So with one swoop, I can hold the volume button down and go, and they're all gone. It's like magic. And then in another swoop. So, of course, for live performance, you can just take any layer, and you'll see on this side is where it's being turned down. And then if I move things to the other side, they're back up. Now once I let go of that layer button, we're back to just watching the performance. Another button, for instance, is able to control the transposition of the entire sequence. So right now in the middle position, you're listening to the 0 transposition, no transpose. If I move it up, check it out. Yes, it's moving up. And we're back to 0. Some really awesome modes here. One of my favorite modes is the basic mode, which you can do some really, really nice inventing of various melodies and rhythms. So in this mode, all right, right now I'm going to pick some different notes on the grid. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll pick a nice diagonal up to the right. And what's really cool, you don't only have to compose by, let's say, pitch in the standard way. If you're somebody who's very into the way patterns are generated or the way patterns look, you can say, wow, that looks really awesome. So now that we have that, we can cut the time of that in half. We can take the octave of it, and we can move the octave up. We can change the sound of it. Every pixel is going to actually bring in a different sound. That's nice. So let's say I have a sound like that one. I can also take that sound and shorten it, which is pretty cool, or lengthen it. One of my favorite modes is the draw mode. With the draw mode, what you can do is you can just run your finger along the Tenori, and in real time, it'll basically follow your finger and then play that information back. So, if I want to, I can clear any layer just by pressing the button and do another one. And then I can change the speed of that. What's also really cool is I can go and I can change the entire scale that the Tenori is referencing. Right now, the scale that it's playing is a Dorian mode scale. If I want to, I can go to Phrygian. I can select Lydian. I can bring the whole thing down in transposition. Of course, there's a tempo button, which by pressing in various places on the Tenori will slow down the whole thing. Or I can make it really rock and go fast again, or even faster. The last thing that I'll show is something called the bounce mode. So let's slow it down a little bit, and I'll get something bouncing for you. Here's the bounce mode. You see the little balls going up and down? Let's create our own. Let's erase that, and we'll pick a nice little fast one in the corner here. In this case, pitch is actually going from left to right. So if I put them all on, and I turn down the things that the other tracks here, you can hear just that. Now watch what happens if I press something, a stream of notes higher up. Or run my finger on diagonal. And change the sound. And get rid of the whole thing, and maybe go back to another pattern, go to the levels, put them all up, and we're back. This is a really amazing, fantastic, fun instrument. Check it out.